Welcome back to the Football Terrace. World-class Liverpool smash 4 goals past Southampton this afternoon. A barnstorming, emphatic performance. Another brilliant result. Another clean sheet, which is very, very key for this Liverpool side. All pressure now on Manchester City and Chelsea at the top of the table tomorrow in their game at Stamford Bridge against Manchester United. The first 2 games back from the international break, Liverpool's levels have risen. Liverpool have gone up an echelon. 8 goals scored, none conceded, and not really many opportunities as well today. Liverpool having a slightly leaky time at the back in between the 2 international breaks seems to be a long way behind them as of now. Absolutely cruising, tip-top form, peak of their powers. And when Liverpool Football Club play like this, they are quite simply the best team in the world. I have said, and let me explain myself here before anyone goes, you said Chelsea are top. Chelsea have been the most consistent and the best team, in my opinion, of the last 12 months. The form in these last 2 Premier League games from Liverpool, when they play like that, no one touches them. Can Liverpool now maintain this level of intensity, goal-scoring prowess, which has been there the majority of the season, coupled with a solid, sturdy, strong back line? That is what's going to be key here. But they were absolutely brilliant today. They truly, truly were. Make sure that like button is being smashed as well, people. Very important to the Football Terrace that you get that done. We are going to take calls on the show. I'm going to share that link very, very soon because I want to hear from you. I want to know what's going through your head. I want to know what you're thinking. I want to know what you're feeling as well. I want to know what's going on. Liverpool fans, there's a few trolls, though, in the comment section smashing the dislike button right now. I know Liverpool fans ain't going to put up with that just because Liverpool won. A lot of people unhappy, fuming, as it were. So you guys make sure that's done. Southampton, what's that? That's a weird comment there. Some of the comments don't make any sense. We'll talk about the Liverpool game right now. Let's have a little talk. Let's have a little look at that as it stands right now. Clean sheet versus Porto, Arsenal today. And you're absolutely right about that. That's the bit that should be standing out to everybody here. It's that level of quality from Liverpool has been scintillating since the return. Absolutely scintillating since the return of the Premier League and the international break. A few people saying it's Southampton. Yeah, it's not about it being Southampton, is it? You're missing the point there, my buddy. I know you're a Chelsea fan. You've been the best team in the league this year, Chelsea. There's no denying it. But it isn't just Southampton. It wasn't just Norwich when you stuck loads of goals past them. If you look at the teams that Liverpool have conceded goals to, just Brighton as an example. This is emphatic. This is brilliant. And in fairness, this could have been 6, 7, 8, 9 if Liverpool hadn't taken their foot off the pedal and maintained a bit of energy. Very, very good victory for Liverpool today, no doubt about it. Now I'm being called a twerker for Liverpool fans. Whatever fan base I praise, I'm a twerker for. Interested. Afternoon, Thiago is looking why Klopp bought him in. If we buy a striker and midfielder in January, we can win the league. Listen, Dinesh, Liverpool can win the league with this squad. I said at the start of the season, if your main protagonists stay fit, Liverpool Football Club can win the league. I said a few weeks ago, if you didn't stop conceding goals at the regularity you wouldn't be able to. 3 games after that point, you've stopped conceding the goals at that regularity. The attack has maintained itself. You can win the league playing the way you are right now. No shadow of a doubt. But I do understand why you want to see some more purchases because you want to guard against those injuries and have that thick, deep squad to be able to handle it in the same brilliant way that Chelsea have been able to do. Been in second gear all season and breathing down Chelsea's neck, who have been at something at their best, not defending the best, but 8 clean sheets. Chelsea as same as Chelsea. And I completely hear you on that. Total clean sheets are there, but it's the context of conceding that needs to be addressed. But you are right, A-Spec. Much better from Liverpool, breathing down Chelsea's necks. And as I've said all year, irrespective of who you think is going to win, it will be tight. Neither Chelsea, Liverpool, or City are running away with the league title. It will be decided by, in my opinion, no more than 3 to 5 points come May. You may predict it's Liverpool. Doesn't mean Chelsea are not going to be there or thereabouts. So that's a simple fact of these matters as far as I can see them. In terms of other results this afternoon, another victory for Steven Gerrard. 2-0 victory at Crystal Palace. A draw in the Norwich Wolves game there as well. Palace got an equal, a goal back, made it 2-1. Norwich with the draw. Look at the two results Norwich and West Villa have had with their new managers. New manager bounce. I hope that continues in the Premier League in the next couple of weeks. Francisco here says, Thiago is too saucy. Yeah, Thiago Silva today was just absolutely impeccable. He looked so good. He looked like the player that we've all loved watching in the Liga and the Bundesliga and the Champions League and internationally over the past 10 years. Maybe a little bit less than that, but in about a decade. And he's really settling in now to life in the Premier League. He looks every bit the Premier League player. And again, there's a legacy opportunity here. Win the Premier League in England. How many midfielders can say they've won the Premier League in 3 major countries, 3 major leagues, and been a pivotal driving force in each of those sides? Not very many. There's something huge that could be achieved here by Thiago Alcantara. That can be done. Mr. Clean Sheet VVD is what Julius has got to say here. A very happy Liverpool fan indeed. Let's have a little look at some more of these comments here. Chelsea fans, Alcantara is levels, bro. Who is Silva? That's an interest. Oh, you guys having a pop at each other. I thought you were just addressing Chelsea fans in general. Pressure on Chelsea and City to get results tomorrow. Liverpool fans can enjoy the weekend now. And that's true. In fairness, Chelsea have played before Liverpool and still do for the majority of time, sort of from mid-October until like the new year. Chelsea invariably were playing first or at the same time. There's only a couple of weekends, including this one, where Liverpool go first. And it does apply a different level of pressure. You have to step up. You can't allow anything to go wrong. Now, they're still top of the league, as we know. They're still currently sitting top of the league. So even a defeat, an unwarranted, unexpected defeat tomorrow at the hands of Man United still keeps them top of the league. I very much doubt that City are going to win by 7, 8 clear goals. But that pressure mounts. And the way this league's gone so far this season, we've all seen crazy shocks. We've all seen these crazy moments. And it's an interesting dynamic now because Liverpool fans will all be cheering for Man United tomorrow. I love how that happens. Maybe a draw they'll ask for because then both teams get damaged. But the way our minds work as football fans is so weird. But needed at times, no doubt. Konate looked comfortable too. I didn't think it would be long until we started seeing more and more of Konate. By the end of the season, him and VVD will be the main partnership. Matip will go. Part of it, he wanted to leave over a year ago. Not out of any disrespect to Liverpool, but he wanted to go to France. I don't know where he'll go, but I think he'll move on. Konate looks a Premier League player as well. He looks to be adapting, coping, and you're really starting to see that promise that he had in Germany come through. And he's also answering critics as well. Many people felt they'd be heavily injury prone. We're getting towards December, no major injuries, if any at all. And, he's looking a player now. And I think he's slowly been bled in and you'll see more and more and more of him moving forward. Tremendous player, no doubt. Is the phrase pipped at the post? The secret football terrace phrase is not pipped at the post. But I want to give you a bit of an intro into that if you don't know much about that competition. So we are giving away a PlayStation 5, a pair of Nike football boots, a limited edition hoodie and £100 cash. All you need to do is super chat in and guess the secret football terrace phrase. So there is over there. I should bring. There's a golden envelope in here. In that golden envelope is a football phrase. We've already given a lot of clues. There's a connection to Arsenal, Liverpool, and Tottenham. The Manchester Derby has a connection to this phrase. The word Murta has a connection to this phrase. Rivals hate it. You love it when it happens to your club. What is the secret phrase? In your super chats, if you get it right, you win all them prizes. So make sure you get that done if you fancy having a bit of a flutter. We have a lot of super chatters here, generally speaking, so it's all for you. James here says, Konate is a monster. He very much is. He is. He's technically gifted, has extreme athleticism, wonderful reading of the game and positioning, and he's only young. The likelihood of him getting better, the probability of him improving is very, very high indeed. He's a serious serious football player. There's no doubts about that. First caller of the day I'm bringing in is going to be Man Like Ram. I've shared the link now in the live comment section. So if you want to phone in, please have your say. By the way, if you're watching over on Twitter, please make sure you give the show a retweet and a like. I'd like to see you over here as well. You can obviously come through and chat to us on the terrace as well. The link is in the Twitter post if you fancy coming across to YouTube and having a bit of a chat with us over here as well. But please retweet. Samuel asks, is the phrase last minute winner? It's not last minute winner, but thank you very, very much indeed for that donation and super chat. So first up on the show, Ram is here with me now. What are you saying, mate?
Yeah, I'm not too bad. Not too bad. A very good victory. I thought Thiago is showing everyone what he was about when he was at Bayern Munich. I've been saying it before. If we played a little bit of a pivot with him and Fabinho, it would work wonders. It'll be very similar to what he was at Bayern Munich, having Goretzka next to him. And we could see how good he is. Like him passing the ball around the pitch was absolutely amazing. His touch, his ability to go with the ball is phenomenal. And obviously Diogo Jota doing what Jota does, getting 2 goals in this game. Mo Salah a bit quiet in terms of goal scoring, but still came up with the assist, contributing to the team. Mane looking dangerous as ever. And yeah, one thing I got to say, I was a bit skeptical of Robertson coming back because Tsimikas had a very good game against Porto. Wow, he shut us all up. Had a very, very good game today. Very, very dominant down that left-hand side, putting in balls in left, right, and centre. And it was proving wonders. We got our first goal from Robertson down that left-hand side. So all in all, a great win for us today.
Yeah, it was. And look, the whole Tsimikas thing and everything else, I'll be honest with you, it did my brain in. I looked at it and thought, I know he'd been in good form. I totally get that he'd been in good form. I know that he'd looked good in some of these games and everything else. But Robertson, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the very best fullbacks the Premier League has ever seen. I understand that meritocracy should win you places back in your side, but I didn't even think Tsimikas was head and shoulders in front of him in terms of performances. There's a few dodgy little moments. When you're as world-class as Robertson and the legacy that he has at Liverpool, I never felt there was any chance for a long period of time Jurgen Klopp taking him out. So it didn't really feel like a serious debate to me. Today, back to his... In fairness, since the international break, the majority of your players have been back to their very best. So, absolutely phenomenal performance from yourselves today. I'm asking one question. It's in the polls today as well. I want to ask a question of all Liverpool fans. You know me, I like a question. I like to ask things. I like to know what you think and feel. By Christmas, do you think you'll catch and or surpass Chelsea? Or do you think it might take a little bit longer?
I don't think so. I honestly still think Manchester City is going to be finishing top by Christmas. I said it before. I'm not confident Liverpool winning the league. I still think we need at least a midfielder to even come close to them. I think it's between City and Chelsea. We have a great team, but injuries are going to do us in. We saw it in the last couple of weeks that we've really struggled. And I still think something's going to happen in terms of our injury crisis. So if we sign a midfielder, then I'll be even more confident. But for now, I'm just going to be very, very reserved about it. And I don't think we're gonna be near them.
Fair enough, my friend. Well, say near them. You're only 1 point behind them. I mean,
yeah,
it's not
fair, yeah.
And that's why I'm saying I don't think it's a leap. Like I look at it this way: 45% of the audience have said yes, 100% you'll overtake Chelsea by Christmas. No, so 29% say no, but you will at some point. You'll surpass them. And 26% say no, Chelsea are clear. If you keep playing like this and your defense is this resolute and you attack like this, there's every single chance that it could happen. But I understand why you're saying reserved. You nearly always are, Ram.
I'm just because we're one injury away from having to play Tyler Morton in midfield. And look, I like the way he plays football, but he's a kid. I don't want to see a kid coming into our midfield, especially in this barren run of games. So
I hear you, bro.
Very reserved about it.
I hear you. Listen, Ram, top man for coming on and having your say. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. The super chats, none of those guesses were right about the secret phrase, but keep them coming. Next on the show, I'm going to Rack. Rack's here with us now. What's on your mind, mate? What do you want to say?
Hey, Tel. Yeah, good, mate. It was a good performance today. I'm not going to get carried away. Southampton didn't really put up much of a fight, but we dealt with them in the way that top clubs deal with some of the weaker teams, especially when you're at home, and we swept them aside. Sometimes we haven't necessarily done that, so that's positive. Keeping clean sheet, we gave away a few chances again today, but we kept a clean sheet, third clean sheet in a row, which is again good stuff. And in general, in second half, they didn't really have any decent chances, I didn't think. So we're moving in the right way defensively. Thiago coming back in and playing alongside Fabinho, as I said from the start, is critical. If they can stay as our main two central midfielders and other people can come in alongside that, then we have a real chance. So yeah, I'm still confident.
Look, I think you should be confident. And I think what's interesting this year, and maybe because there's been a few seasons, there's only been one real, in the last 4 or 5 years, only one season where two teams went head to head until the end. Every other year, a team's won it by a fair distance, if not a country mile. So I think that's in the mindset of fans. So when I say I think Chelsea are the favourites, people have this kind of binary reaction to go, we'll be there though. And I'm like, yeah, I know you will. I think Chelsea might win it by a point. It's going to be that close. Yeah. So I think if you're a City, Liverpool or Chelsea fan, you should be extremely confident in your team's chances of winning the league. The only time, it's funny, I got tweeted by Lou from Give Me Sport during the game saying I told Terry we could win the league with his strike force, and he showed me the stats. And I'm like, but I said as long as you didn't get any major injuries to your major players, you could win the league. So I don't really get why you're having people don't hear me. It may be saying if you don't get injuries is the negative bit, so they switch off from the positive. And the way Liverpool have been in your last 3 games, for me, is a difference to those games you played recently where you were scoring but then conceding. And I'm like, see, this Liverpool now that you're all like dribbling over is the Liverpool that I think can win this league. The Liverpool throwing away leads, the Liverpool team conceding lots of goals, is highly unlikely to win the league when you compare it to how good these Chelsea and City teams are. It's just, for me, it's basic football, but I suppose people don't always like to hear it.
There's a hair's breadth between those 3 teams. Like I was a little bit down on Chelsea at the start of the season because I wanted them to come out and prove to me that they were capable of going toe to toe. I think they've proved so far in this season that they are. So I'm going to give them that credit now. And I think they're going to be up there with us and City fighting till the end. At the end of the day, we'll see what happens. And injuries can play a part, form can play a part. For us, it's the control in the game. If we can retain control, and that's why I say Thiago and Fabinho playing together as much as they can, that helps us both offensively because other teams are going to struggle to get the ball off us, and defensively, it just means they're going to limit the number of chances. We're playing much more possession-based system over the last couple of years since Thiago's come in, and that's kind of what I'm counting on for us to be that little bit ahead of the others. But we'll see. Time will tell. It's still early days.
Of course it is. And what we do know for sure is it's going to be hella entertaining. Rack, great call as ever, mate. And we'll speak to you again soon. Top man. Thank you. Viewers, 250 likes just passed. Let's get this past 500, please. Remember, if we hit 1,000, I will give you another clue for the Football Terrace secret phrase. So get your friends watching, family members watching, your girlfriend, your boyfriend watching. Make them hit that like button as well. Let's get it up and you get another clue. Next on the show, I'm going to go to Ray. Ray's with us now. What are you saying, buddy? Ray?
What's up, Terry? How you doing, boss man?
Yeah, I'm good. What do you want to say, my friend?
Can you hear me, bro? What's up, Terry? How you doing, boss man?
Yeah, we're getting a bit of... We've got some connections there. Try calling us back, my friend. We've got Ben on the line now to have you say, big Liverpool fan. 4-0 smashing at Southampton today. Ben, what are you saying, mate?
How are you doing, bro? You good?
Yeah, I'm very well, my friend. You must be over the moon with that performance today.
Yeah, over the moon with the performance. It's kind of bittersweet for me because I had a ticket to go to the game, but I don't know if you know, there's been loads of weather issues today, and my train got cancelled in the morning, so I actually had to give up my ticket. And for that performance, it's heartbreaking. But you know what? Putting that aside, the personal issues with that, I can't ask for anything more from the team. After that West Ham game, there was a few things asked really, and I think that was the result we needed right at that moment in time. West Ham, a team pushing for Europe this season, and you know they came and, well, we came to them and they beat us. And it's like, okay, that's a wake-up call for us now. It's the first loss of the season. How we're going to react. And the reaction has been perfect, really. I know we've still had moments where we've looked a bit vulnerable at the back, which I'm sure will be ironed out. But today, as a collective, I think every single player on that pitch today put a shift in, and that's what we want to see, really. Like, I know you guys, and I even said it in the last time I was on your show, you predicted Chelsea to win the league, and people think City will win the league. But as Liverpool fans right now, we still think we have a chance to do it, and you can't really, and I'm sure you won't, but you can't eliminate us yet. Like, we're on fire, and
I agree. And one of the things I've always said, the only reason for predicting Chelsea was I just felt the squad depth was slightly better.
Yeah,
but even in that prediction, I don't think more than 5 points will separate all three of you teams. You're all there or thereabouts. And if you're someone that predicts Chelsea to win the league and Liverpool win it by a point over Chelsea, your prediction is so marginally incorrect. Does that make sense? And vice versa. If you say Liverpool are going to win it and you miss out by a point or two, they're all going to be there. It's going to, I think to quote Rack, who was just on, there will be a hair's breadth between both sides, in my opinion. In terms of the way you're playing them, I mean, your front three are just absolutely astronomical right now, aren't they?
We scored 4 goals and Salah didn't even get a goal. So, like, there's been a lot of talk that, Salah's kind of carried us this season, which I'm not denying. He's been the best player in the Premier League / the world. But today we put 4 past Saints, and they're not a bad team. Like, I expected a 3-0. That's what I predicted. But those guys have to still go out there and do it at the end of the day. And without Salah's goals, people have said, "Oh, where would we be?" Well, we just scored 4 today. So Jota getting 2, Mane scoring, and Thiago is just. This is the Thiago that we've needed to see, and we saw glimpses of it last season, towards the back end of the season. But right now, when all the fans are in that stadium, this is the proper, this is football, and this is what we need to see. We need to see Thiago, the Thiago that we thought we signed, and we're seeing it right now. He's just different to anything I've ever seen, really, in centre mid for us, especially in a Klopp system as well, by the way. Never really seen a centre mid like him. And it was a big debate when he came in, like, oh, is he going to fit in? Is he going to, change the way we play? And I think he's just, at the minute, he's going from strength to strength. And there was a lot of doubters about him. I even asked the question at one point. I put a tweet out saying, in hindsight, should we have spent that money on a younger centre mid to come in and, kind of be a project? But he's unreal. And yeah, he's really settling in now.
He is, and he doesn't look like it's. Although he's older, he doesn't look like a player that's having a swan song. He looks like he's got 2 or 3 more years minimum left in his legs to produce and perform. He's not a slouch, but he isn't about athleticism. He isn't about power. He is more about the passing and the guile. And he, for me, is the closest thing I've seen since Paul Scholes. And I remember when you guys signed him, and I said, Liverpool fans will have a newfound respect for Paul Scholes after watching Thiago Silva play. And he just reminds me of a younger version of Scholes. Like, people have got to ignore the guy that was between 38 and 40 when he finished off his career. I'm talking about the guy that between 25 and 32 who was just could sit deep, could attack. He could just play anywhere in that midfield. And Thiago is that same guy for me. He's sensational. He really is.
I've just seen a comment here as well, just to interrupt. Someone mentioned that Mane didn't score. Completely forgot Virgil's goal. Mane did score, but it was offside. That's what was just in my mind right then. But yeah, that Virgil goal as well was just, it was poetic. And I said yesterday, I tweeted out that he's going to score today. I don't know why. I had a feeling Virgil was going to score. And it actually came out today that I think it's the year anniversary from his injury, which I didn't know. Oh, wow. I just thought he was going to score. I thought, why not? I put him in my FPL as well. And he goes and scores. So it was a really nice moment.
In the back of the net. No, absolutely. Listen, mate, I really appreciate you coming back on the terrace.
Thank you, Terry, bro.
And we'll speak soon. Take care. Top man.
You too,
Thank you very much there. Great call. We're going to keep them moving here. We get young Stephen all the way from the Emerald Isle that's coming on now to have his say.
Well, Terry, what's up? It's been a while, hasn't it?
It has, mate. It has. Give me your thoughts on your team's 4-0 victory today.
Yeah, I wouldn't say I wouldn't get carried away with this result because if you look at Southampton, they're not a team that are on the rise. I'm being honest with you. It's one of them results where we'll just go take the 4-0 win and move on to the next one, which is Everton on Wednesday night at Goodison Park. That's a massive game because you remember Terry, the last time we played Everton, we lost 2-0 and it wasn't a good result. But Yeah, I think for the team, catching up with Chelsea, Man United, I'm looking at draw tomorrow because if we can get a draw, that means we're just 2 points behind Chelsea. But even if Chelsea lost, I'll be okay with that. But I don't want Man United to win. But I think for Liverpool now going forward is using Thiago, Fabinho, Henderson in that midfield, because I feel like even though it was okay today, I think Henderson was a bit off it today, but I think you're going to get that going forward with a few of them, because I don't think that partnership has been made as much, because I don't think Thiago has sort of been playing regularly, because but I think Thiago's performance today just showed that he hasn't got up yet, and he's still a great player, and he's definitely going to be crucial going forward in that line. But it's good to have that when you have the likes of Jota now on the side, where it would have been Mane, Salah for me all the time. You know what I mean? It's good to have Jota in there because you have one more body just to refresh it. You know what I mean? And for me, didn't even play today, Terry. And the fact is now, if anyone said to me that this Liverpool team will drop off, it's hard to say. I don't think they will. It will have to come to, we know, I don't know if AFCON will go ahead in terms of what the pandemic will look like going forward, but if we can just keep hold of Salah and Mane going forward, then I see us competing. But it's definitely going to be a very long, hard season. But
I think you'll compete. And you know what? If they miss 2 or 3 games, that could be when we're talking about this being settled by maybe a point, 2 points, 3 points, that period could be hugely pivotal. So I suppose every Liverpool fan in their truest heart of hearts wants that tournament to be postponed so they can keep hold of their players, and we get it. Stephen, great call, mate. Thank you for coming on again and having your say. Appreciate it, buddy. Thank you. Back to that super chat from Jason. I went to read this out where Jason says, let's not overhype Paul's win. Keep yourselves grounded, focus on one game at a time, and try to get 3 points each game. I don't think anybody is getting overly hyped. It's stating that the performances in the last 3 games, the results, the goals, the clean sheets are exactly where Liverpool need to be to win the Premier League title. But City and Chelsea are going nowhere as it stands right now. They are in the race. And I think people have got to get into their minds when it comes to criticism of those teams. We are essentially nitpicking between the very best, as opposed to comparing them to problems that Arsenal or Man United or Tottenham have got. Is the winning phrase winning and rival teams dropping points? It isn't, but thank you very much, David, for that guess there. Is the phrase injury time winner? No, the phrase isn't injury time winner, Jason, but thank you for having a guess on the terrace. Next up on the show today, we've got Mo. Mo's a Man United fan. I'm interested to know what he's got. It's a bit of rival watch here. We love a bit of rival chat on the terrace. What are you saying, Mo?
Just watched the Liverpool game. Yeah, they look good. They look like a complete version of the finished article. They're doing everything well, and I got to give them respect. The football they play is brilliant. It seems like a well-oiled machine where they're going to challenge City and Chelsea to that title. And it's something, as a United fan, I want to be here next year playing that brand of football with our new manager. and I'm getting excited for Man United because obviously, yes, we got rid of Oli. I don't want to talk about Oli, but I think, imagine if we had Oli still in charge. My God, I was thinking about it today when I was out for a run, and I was thinking, can you imagine if Oli was still in charge, Terry?
Yeah, listen, I understand that. And I think whenever you get a new manager and you look at one of the best teams, one of the best managers, your hope is that you get there. I would love to play football as well and as consistent as Liverpool. There's no doubt. I
saw your tweet when he came onto the pitch. That was amazing. That tweet you put out, I think, was it yesterday when he came onto the pitch and with his mobile phone. That is my
yeah.
I love him already.
I listen. So do I, and I hope he can do that. And look, if he or the person he brings in could be as successful as Jurgen Klopp, trust me, I'll be a happy boy. Mo, top man, thanks for coming on, mate, and having your say. I appreciate it. It's interesting that Mo says that. I was watching a stream via a VPN of a friend of mine, and it was Richard Keys and Andy Gray, and they were talking at halftime about things, and they basically said, like, do you think Man United could have? They brought that same talking point up, and I was sitting there going, I'm not allowing myself to get gassed on this. Keep smashing that like button, people. The Don is on the show next. Man like Sam is here. What you saying, bruv?
Incredible win. The level of football, Lord have mercy on my soul. The football we played today, oh my God, that was just like incredible. That was so amazing. The football we played in that game. Listen, Gegenpressing, pressure, possession, all-out attack. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. We absolutely hammered Southampton today. When it comes to the goals, I think we could have probably scored 2 or 3 more as well. We created plenty of chances. The one major thing is no more injuries, and the 3 players coming back from injuries were given rest, like Jota, Thiago, and Henderson. All 3 of them were given rest, so that's a major positive. In terms of everything we did today on the football pitch, I think we were incredible going forward. Defensively, very good, better than previous games. I would say a bit more controlled. Did Southampton get chances? Yes, Southampton are always going to create chances. They're a good team, but I think defensively that was a better performance than what we've been putting in over the last few weeks. Konate coming in, listen, he's a raw talent still, and this is why when people are like, oh, why isn't Konate played yet? We did the same with Fabinho, the same with Robertson, where Moreno started ahead of him. Klopp likes to give players time before he gives them that starting role. And remember, the 3 centre backs besides Konate, Van Dijk is back from a long-term injury, Matip's back from a long-term injury, Gomez is back from a long-term injury. So I feel like Klopp is forced somehow to rotate his center backs. If you remember, 2-3 years ago as well, I think the year we won the league, and the year before that, we didn't really rotate the defense. It was mostly Van Dijk and Gomez, or Van Dijk and Matip. There was no real rotation. This time, I think because of the situation we're in, like, rotation is needed. Konate, experience will only do him the world of good. Today, he played much better than he did against Porto. The performance against Porto sort of reminded me of Madu Sakho. Like, it was just unorthodox, a bit clumsy, all over the place. Today, it was a lot better than last time. So that's a major positive. And I think going forward, I would still trust Matip more in the more, how can I say, like in the more bigger games, in the more important games and the tougher places to go. Like Everton Wednesday, we play Everton, of course. So, Matip would be my option against Everton. But in terms of teams maybe like Norwich, maybe like Southampton, Newcastle, you could give Konate game time and rest either of them, and I think will be good. So overall, incredible performance. And Terry, your favorite Liverpool player, Mo Salah, now leads the league in goals, leads the league in assists, and leads the league in big chances created as well. So overall, in terms of what he's doing as a football player, maybe some people could argue over the past few years, if Salah doesn't score, it doesn't impact the game. Today, he created a phenomenal chance for Jota, where Jota had nothing to do but score. And obviously, in terms of link-up play and everything he's doing overall as a footballer, I feel like this is the best version of him we're seeing. Like, this season's version is the best version of Salah, probably bar the first season. But everything else, he improved massively.
I hear that. Like, when people say things like, "What does he do other than like score goals?" Sometimes, unless you've got like answers ready, and that's it's that you've gone there and I see what I see from him. I don't feel like he was missing in certain games. I feel like he's always been fairly creative. He's always made progressive runs. He's always helped out defensively. He's always been involved in. There's very rarely a goal that you score where he's not involved in the build-up, whether it's the ball being worked on the right and he's part of the movement to get the ball switched to the left, whether he's directly involved, getting assists, getting key passes, he's always been involved. It's just people kind of throw a Hail Mary. I call that a Hail Mary point in a debate where they say, well, if he ain't scoring goals, what else does he do? And those people don't know either, but they're just hoping that you don't have a response. And the problem is when you actually look at Mo Salah over the past 3 to 4 years, and you look at his statistical output in so many areas, people have come on here and be like, rubbish dribbler. And then you start comparing him to, you sit there and go, okay, well, name me the people that are better at dribbling. And I always throw in someone like Eden Hazard, yes, his dribbling stats surpass everybody. So he's clear. But then you start to look at all the other names of players in those areas, and he's attempting 3 or 4 a game like them. He has a 50 to 60% completion rate, the same as them. It's like, okay, well, he's there or there. There isn't a statistic that's bad for him when you start actually to do your body of work and compare it against other people. And look, today he didn't score. He hasn't scored in the Prem 2 games running, maybe even 3 games running now. But he
scored against Arsenal.
They did score against Arsenal. Yeah, sorry, I'm being sorry. He did score against Arsenal. There's a couple of other games before that. Like, but even when he doesn't score, he's there or thereabouts, or he's involved. He's just phenomenal. And he had that like run of scoring in all them games. And I tend to find that the reason that people put Mo Salah down is because they know that he is edging towards conversations of going beyond best of the last few years. He's heading towards conversations of being one of the best right-sided attackers, one of the best forwards in the history of the Premier League. So people are already, a bit like people are doing with Chelsea's style of play, they're trying to throw in like something they're trying to discredit it early so they can say, I've always said it was rubbish. Do you get what I mean? It's such like an obvious
getting
boring,
the excuses ready, basically.
Yeah, it's like, oh, come on, mate. I've been doing this game too long. I know what you're doing. I see it already, mate. But look, really good win today. Well done. And we'll speak again soon, buddy.
See you, Terry.
Yeah, Sam. Thanks very much indeed. Top man. Thank you. Mo Salah 11 goals, Jota and Mane 7 goals each and 8 assists. Yeah, it's ridiculous how good that front three has been so far this season. And remember with Jota was tracking towards this last season until he picked up that injury in the Champions League. He started off, he would have scored so many more goals for Liverpool last year had he not got injured. I'm going to do a few more calls here. Shrey's coming on first of all. What are you saying, buddy?
Hey, Terry. I think it's a really good performance from Liverpool. Let's just, I think let's just calm down. Southampton are not that great a side. They're pretty far past them. It's good, but let's just hope. Let's park the bus on Liverpool for a moment. I think the key thing is I want your take on this, Terry. What do you think the impact of AFCON will be? On Liverpool or Club World Cup for Chelsea. What does that make?
I don't know. I mean, the problem that you've got is what I would say about Liverpool and what I've seen from Liverpool over the years. I've seen you have games where you guys kind of moan, Divock Origi starting, or when he was here, Shaqiri starting. But for a couple of games, Jurgen Klopp's system can still yield those results. Is it a risk in those matches that you drop points? Yes. Do I see you getting through it? Yeah, it's only a couple of matches. The problem you've got is even if you do drop points in one or two of them games, as long as you are there or thereabouts and you're not too far behind Chelsea or City at the top, if they're top, or as long as you've got a little cushion at the top, I still think you're going to be okay. I don't think AFCON is going to be the reason that you don't win it as an isolated amount. That would be my take, my friend. But I think you'll do okay.
The reason I asked you that is because I think that AFCON, if Mo Salah or somebody gets injured in one of those tournaments, that I think will be the pivotal point for Liverpool, because their squad depth is still a bit shaky. The thing because right now they're really on fire. So now, say if Salah gets injured, I hope not, but say if he does get injured, then will he still be at that peak? Will he be able to compare at peak form? That will be a big question mark. Like Chilwell, for example.
You could ask that of most teams. If a star player or two gets injured, how will they come back? When will they come back? I wouldn't let it be a concern until it happens. That's what I would say. Shrey, great call, my friend. Thank you for coming on, and everybody that's tuned into this match reaction show. I appreciate it. Back tomorrow with more. We've got an amazing day tomorrow. A special edition Bet Victor Top 6 show, match reaction, the Chelsea Man United game. We're in the studio all day tomorrow as well, so make sure you're tuning in. Before you leave, smash the like button, subscribe. A brilliant bit of content coming out tonight at 9 o'clock as well, so keep your eyes open for that. Until then, take care. Goodbye. God bless.